Okay, hello and welcome to the Content Clarity Framework. This is part 2. So if you have not finished part 1, you can go back and watch it because what we're going to do today builds on what we did last week. So by now you should know who you're going to serve, the type of membership we're going to offer, the transformation we're going to give those members. If not, like I said, you're going to need to go back and do that first because everything builds on what we're doing each week. So you can't do today's if you haven't already figured out last week's. So let me explain what we've accomplished so far. And we're doing this through the Content Clarity Framework template. And actually, if anybody wants a copy of the Content Clarity Framework, just comment template below and I'll send it over to you, and then you can follow right along and get everything mapped out for you. You can see exactly what I'm looking at to teach this. So actually I have a surprise for you today. Let's do a quick little recap before we get into today's lesson. We learned the membership transformation. Now my specific one, it provides 4 goals. Also, we learned the type of membership we're going to have. We learned the ideal, or we actually identified our ideal member for this group, and we actually identified the entry-level member for our group. Now you put all those together, and that is already 7 pieces of content that we've created just by doing the first part of this Content Clarity Framework. So today's is going to build on that, and you're going to have so much more content created after you finish today's training. It's actually one part of what we upload to AI to generate or to help us with our content. So today we're moving on to part 2 of the Content Clarity Framework. Now today we're acting like the GPS. We're giving away our system. It's going to help people get there faster and get there easier. We're going to tell them about hazards that are up ahead because we've already traveled the journey. This is where we actually give them the system that we're currently using in our own businesses. So what is the transformation that we're offering? Today's training is going to map all that out. It's going to map out all the steps that we have to take in order to provide that transformation. So let me pull mine up and let me show you again. Last week we did the ideal client. I know exactly who I'm going to serve with mine. Mine is going to be people that have flipped several houses, but they still don't have that safety net. They don't feel safe enough to go forward and flip another house, especially in today's market. I also know my entry-level people. They're the people that have lined everything up, but they haven't actually pulled the trigger to purchase that first flip. And I know the transformation that I'm going to give them. I'm going to help them to build the safety net so that their flips go a lot smoother and they're able to keep a calm state when they're making decisions in their flip. So the way that I achieve that is through 4 goals. Goal 1 is creating the membership. Then goal 2 is we create the brand to attract the members. Goal 3 is we create the brand, which is also providing trust in us. We're showing that we know what we're talking about and we can help them. And then that's where the membership actually starts growing and building in goal 3. And then goal 4 is we are retaining the members that we worked so hard to get, and we're getting them to refer people to us because we've given them success and shown them an easier path to achieving their goals. So now we mapped all that out last week. So today, in order to achieve goal 1, in order to create the membership, there's several steps that need to take place. For me, there's 3 steps that need to take place just to achieve goal 1. So then we need to map that out and we need to label it. So what is the first step that they need to take in order to create a membership? Well, the first step is they need to list all the topics that they know about and they have passion for. This is to identify what type of membership they're going to create, because that's what my goal 1 is, right? Is to create a membership. Well, in order to do that, you've got to complete the content clarity framework. And the problem that that solves is it creates a safety net for the flips. And they know they've achieved it when they know the type of membership they're going to create and they know who it's going to serve. So in order to do that, method 1 under goal 1 is to list all the topics they have passion for and that they are doing every single day. Now, I'm recommending that you build it around your flipping business, because that's the easiest thing. You're already there, you're doing it, you run across a problem with a contractor, like I said last week, you handle the problem, you pick up your phone, you immediately record exactly what you did, you tell the problem, you tell how you solved it, and you tell what is, what the steps you took to make that decision, and you move forward. And then tomorrow or the next week, you can record another video on the exact same problem that you just told them about to tell how the outcome actually came out. So that's 2 pieces of content right there. You didn't have to do anything extra. You're already on the job site. It already happened. You had to deal with it. So all you're doing is documenting your journey. So you've listed all of your passions, or the items you have knowledge on. Like, you can create this, you can create a membership around anything. You can create it around photography. You can create it around gardening. You can create it around, living your best life, having mindset, having empowerment, that type of thing. So no matter what you pick, you need to list all the topics, and it needs to be something that you do every day. This is not adding work to your life or to your schedule. And then the second step under method 1 is, why does it work? So the first one is actually identifying the action step they need to take. And then step 2 is you want to explain to them why this works. So why does making a list work? Because it allows you to build the membership around your daily lives. Again, you're not creating work for yourself. You're just documenting what you're already doing in your life every day, and it's going to create a membership which is going to give you support and a safety net for your flips. And then the next question you need to answer is, what problem does it solve? So for me, it solves the problem of who they serve and how they serve them. And that's it. So under goal 1, you need to cover each step. So for me, let me just list all the steps first. In order to achieve goal 1, you need to first one, what we just discussed, is to list all the topics that you have knowledge about and you have passion for. And then the second step is to research that topic and to make sure there's actual interest for it and that it's going to be a successful membership before you start it. The third step to achieving that first goal is to determine the transformation that it will give your members. So that's all the steps listed out. And then after you list all the steps out, your next step is to go answer the question, why does it work? So I've already told you the first one. Maybe I should tell you that, okay, the first one is to list all the steps. The second one is to list why it works for each step. And then the third part of that process is to list the problem that it solves. So let's go to method 2, still under goal 1, which is creating a membership for me, my example. So method 2 is researching the topic of interest. And why does that work, to actually research the topics of interest? Because it confirms that a membership can be created for it. You're going to confirm that there are other products for sale on that same topic. You're going to research forums and make sure there's other groups being designed around your topic. Make sure there's interest and desire and that people are willing to pay to learn more about it. And then the third step is, what problem does it solve? Well, researching the topic, the problem that solves is it allows you not to waste your time and your effort and your energy. I know people that have built an entire membership. Actually, I'm guilty of it myself. I built an entire membership. Went in, created all the follow-up emails, created all the automations. I created the membership itself, recorded all these trainings, and then launched it and tried to sell it, only to find out that it wasn't a topic that had enough interest in. There was interest out there, but it wasn't the type of interest that people paid for. So I wasted all that time and effort. So please learn from my mistakes and follow the content clarity framework. So now that's step 2 in achieving goal 3. And you can have as many steps as you have to in order to achieve your goal. I'm just saying for mine, to achieve the goal of creating a membership, I have 3 steps in that process. So we've already covered step 1, we've covered step 2. Now we're down to step 3. So step 3 is where you determine the transformation that the membership will give. So why does that work? Because people pay for the transformation. They don't pay for just a membership that's going to have, library and library and library of trainings. They don't want to get smarter. They want to get success. They want to constantly move forward. Life is all about progression. If you're not progressing, you're not going to be happy. You need to have a goal in your life. You need to have something you're working towards, and you need to track it, and you need to work on it every day till you actually achieve that goal. And then once you achieve it, guess what? You move to the next goal. You don't just say, okay, I did that. Let me just sit back. Life is great. Everything's done. No. That's why some of the richest people in the world are some of the most unhappiest people in the world, because they have nothing else to work for. They have every single thing they've ever wanted. They don't have to work for anything. They just go buy it. So that's why you have a benefit over the richest people in the world, because you're still living your best life by trying to achieve a goal. So, okay, let's get back to the training. So for me, method 3 under the same goal of creating a membership is to determine the transformation it'll work, that it'll give your audience. And then the reason that works is because people pay for the transformation, and then the problem that it solves is it establishes that there's actual desire for it. It establishes the structure for the membership. So you know what journey you're going to take your people on. You have everything already mapped out, just like we did last week. Now there's one more step to completing this entire process of the first goal. And the last step is, what supporting documents are you going to give them? You're going to have, what templates and tools are you going to provide in your membership to help them achieve goal 1? So for me, it's this content clarity framework, this template. And then you can also provide training and a workshop on top of that to help them achieve that first goal. And for me, it's the content clarity workshop. And now for me, I have completed everything that I needed to give the transformation of goal 1. So now part 2 of my content clarity framework is complete for goal 1. But guess what? I have to do this for every single goal that I have. And this is another reason that I suggested that you only have 3 or 4 goals that you're going to try to take people through. And again, each goal can have, like for me, goal 2 is to create a brand to attract members. So how to get them to achieve that, let me pull up my other documents. I didn't go that far. I only completed 1. Okay, let me see. Okay, goal 2 has actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 steps to completing goal 2. So it doesn't matter how many steps you have to have. It's your system. It's your breakdown. It's exactly what benefit you're going to provide your audience, people that join your membership. What transformation you're going to give them. So I need to complete the steps that they need to take. I need to list why that step works. I need to list the problem that it solves. And I need to list what template or tool I'm going to provide to help them achieve those things, and what training or workshop I'm going to provide to help them achieve those things. So once I have all of that mapped out for all 4 of my goals, I've completed part 2 of the Content Clarity Framework. Again, if you would like a copy of this framework, just comment template below. comment template, and I'll send this over to you immediately. Now you've completed part 2 of the Content Clarity Framework. So I hope you got benefit from this today. And again, if you had not done part 1, it's in the Facebook group, the Facebook page. Just go back and review part 1, complete everything in part 1, then move to part 2, what we just did today. And next week, we're going to cover part 3. And again, like I told you, you have content around all of these topics. So for mine, goal 1, just goal 1 has 1, 2, 3. It's got 3 additional 3 contents I can break down to record. So that's 10 pieces of content already just to achieve one part of goal 1. See how it works? Each thing that you're doing, you're building more and more content that you can create around the exact same topic. So you're not going to have to pull up a page and say, what am I going to record today? That is the worst possible thing. And it doesn't matter how effective your ad is, how great you are at setting the ad up, how great Facebook and YouTube are at finding your ideal client. If your content isn't speaking to them, it doesn't matter. They're not going to watch it, and you're not going to be successful. So this is a vital piece of your business to complete this content clarity framework and get everything laid out for you. Thank you so much for watching this. Hope you got value from it, and I'll see you next week. Leave me a comment, let me know, and most of all, ask for that template. I'll see you next week.